August is an important month for two of the seediest characters in Middle-earth, but it is also an important month for an unlikely pair of friends. Hello, Fellowship, and welcome back to the Sword and the Ring, a place for everything Middle-earth, a galaxy far, far away, Algasia, and Hogwarts. If you are into that lore, go ahead and subscribe, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up as we continue our year with the Fellowship. In August of the year 3018 of the Third Age, only one memorable event is recounted for us, but it will have lasting impacts on the Fellowship's quest to destroy the One Ring. You see, by this time, Gollum has been free and on the run from both elves and Sauron for about 2 months after his escape from Mirkwood. However, now, both sides have lost any trace of the creature. Having lost their charge, the elves of the Woodland Realm know they must inform Gandalf as soon as possible, and so Legolas is sent to Rivendell in search of him. Meanwhile, Gollum, it is thought, took refuge in Moria with the goal of making it out the West Gate and towards the Shire. Unfortunately for the sneaking creature, once he found the West Gate, he could not get out as it had been shut and he did not know how to open it. Indeed, he probably wouldn't have even understood the word friend at this point. And so, he waits in Moria. In 3019, the escort of Theoden's body and the King of the West, which includes the Ringbearers, Merry, Pippin, Gandalf, Elrond and his sons, Legolas, Gimli, Celeborn, Galadriel, and the Rohirrim, are on their journey back to Edoras. And on the 7th of August they reach the city, and on the 10th hold the funeral rites for King Theoden. 4 days later, the guests leave Edoras in the hands of King Eomer and continue their journey westward. On the 18th of the month, the group reaches Helm's Deep, and there Legolas and Gimli explore the glittering caves, and Legolas is left in speechless wonder. The group heads for Isengard, where they meet Treebeard on the 22nd of the month, and he gives them an update on the goings-on in his charge, Saruman. "Well, come now, you have proved mightiest, and all your labors have gone well. Where now would you be going, and why do you come here?" "To see how your work goes, my friend, and to thank you for your aid in all that has been achieved," said Gandalf. Well, that is fair enough," said Treebeard. "For to be sure, Ents have played their part, and not only in dealing with that accursed tree slayer that dwelt here, for there was a great inrush of those. Well, since you are hasty folk, and their name is as long as years of torment, those vermin of orcs, and they came over the river and down from the north and all round the wood of Lothlorien, which they could not get into, thanks to the great ones who are here." He bowed to the Lord and Lady of Lorien. "And these same foul creatures were more than surprised to meet us out on the wold, for they had not heard of us before, though that might be said also of better folk." "The new age begins," said Gandalf, "and in this age it may well prove that the kingdoms of men shall outlast you, Fangorn, my friend. But now, come tell me, what are the tasks that I set you? How is Saruman? Is he not weary of Orthanc yet? For I do not suppose that he will think you have improved the view from his windows." Treebeard gave Gandalf a long look, almost a cunning look, Merry thought. "Ah," he said, "I thought you would come to that. Weary of Orthanc, very weary at last, but not so weary of his tower as he was weary of my voice. I gave him some long tales, or at least what might be thought long in your speech. Then why did he stay to listen? Did you go into Orthanc? Asked Gandalf. No, not into Orthanc, said Treebeard. But he came to his window and listened because he could not get news in any other way, and though he hated the news, he was greedy to have it, and I saw that he heard it all. But I added a great many things to the news that it was good for him to think of. He grew very weary. He always was hasty. That was his ruin. I observe, my good Fangorn, said Gandalf, that with great care you say dwelt, was, grew. What about is? Is he dead? No, not dead, so far as I know, said Treebeard. But he is gone. Yes, he is gone 7 days. I let him go. There was little left of him when he crawled out. And as for that worm Grooter of his, he was like a pale shadow. Now, do not tell me, Gandalf, that I promised to keep him safe, for I know it. But things have changed since then, and I kept him until he was safe. Safe from doing any more harm. You should know that above all I hate the caging of live things, and I will not keep even such creatures as these caged beyond great need. A snake without fangs may crawl where he will. You may be right, said Gandalf, but this snake had still one tooth left, I think. He had the poison of his voice, and I guess that he persuaded you, even you, Treebeard, knowing the soft spot in your heart. Well, he is gone, and there is no more to be said, but the Tower of Orthanc now goes back to the king to whom it belongs, though maybe he will not need it. After this news update, the pair of Legolas and Gimli take their leave of the Fellowship and head into Fangorn Forest to explore the Entwood, as Gimli had promised. The Fellowship breaks one more time before the end of the month, as the King of the West leaves the company at the Gap of Rohan, but not before reminding Pippin that he is a Knight of Gondor and is not released from his oaths. The remaining company continued west towards Rivendell. On their journey, they came upon the released and beggared Saruman, who refused any offer of assistance from any of the company, spiting most scornfully Gandalf and the Lady Galadriel. Lucky for him that Gimli was not among them at this point, I think. That's about it for this month. Next month starts the real events of the Fellowship's journey, so stay tuned for that. If you have any topics you'd like to see brought to light by Iluvatar, just let me know down in the comments. I'll be with you next time on The Sword and the Ring.